All right, welcome back, everybody. It's the Nobodies
Podcast.
He's Nelson.
He's Neil.
And we got a special guest for you today, the world's biggest Kiss fan.
Cassius Morris.
That's right. He's the teenage host of the podcast That Recorder Kid Speaks and Creatures of the Net podcast. So we're looking forward to this. We've been trading tweets back and forth, and Nelson also gave him some geeked out technical help. He reached out to the Twitter community to help with some website stuff, and we got our in-house red band here, so...
Neil graciously volunteered.
I volunteered Nelson. Listen, you got to help our baby brother out.
Yeah, well, I hooked him up. It was good.
We're going to pull it together here. Get it together, bitches. And we're going to have a fun podcast coming up. We're going to talk a lot of smack. I mean rock and roll. So we're just getting ready here. And you know that afternoon lull when it's like not quite dinner, but it's kind of a couple hours past lunch and you need something, right?
When you're doing the late night podcast.
So, yeah, what do? You grab... we have this at the dollar store close by. We have this. It's like an imitation Snicker bar. What do we call it? What is it called?
Titan.
Free advertising here for the Titan bar.
Yeah.
Our Canadian brethren will know what this is.
Titan. Oh, they're probably all over the world, no? These guys?
I don't know.
I hope so.
I feel like it's a Canadian phenomenon.
Neil's a bastard because he's a health fanatic, and then he freaking puts chocolates in front of me. Just to soften me up a bit while we're doing this podcast. Freaking bastard. Testing my willpower.
Every time we go to basketball, he's got these green kale shakes. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, you know, and then now he's eating chocolate bars.
Yeah, it just ruined everything. And then I had a freaking green smoothie for lunch today. And before that, you know what I had? A goddamn cupcake.
Let's just call it the balance. The evening out process.
It's the balance.
Yeah, it's like Joey Diaz used to say. I would snort Coke in the morning, and then I'd have a piece of shrimp, and then the rest of the day, I think my body did a cleanse. So, so tell us about most recent then hookup with the guys, with Paul and Gene, and
The most recent time was here in my hometown of Halifax. They were playing here on August 1st, 2013. I can tell you the minute and the second. No, I'm just joking. So, it was there, and I was going to the concert with my best friend, Justice Sanford, shout out. And he's a huge Kiss fan as well. I mean, huge. And this was his second time seeing the band. And we had gotten to, let's say, a bit of a disagreement about the fact that I was going backstage and he may not have been.
Oh.
And he was going to stay the weekend at my house, and he's a diehard fan, and I know he didn't want me to hear me talking about meeting them the whole weekend.
Right.
So we kind of started to, get in an argument about that. So I go to pick up the backstage passes for me and my family, which, by the way, that's already way pushing it for the guys that hooked it up. 4 people.
Sure.
I mean, that's way too much already. I open the envelope, and there's 5 backstage passes.
Oh,
nice.
Good.
And so this guy gets out of the car, and I run up to him. I say, Justice, you're meeting Kiss. And I give him his backstage pass.
You should have screwed with him a bit. That's what you got to do with your best buds.
You should have told him you were screwing with him the whole weekend.
That's right.
Yeah. And filmed it, too, while I was doing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't give nothing easy to Nelson here. I bust his balls as much as I can.
Yeah. I'd say ever since I did Joey's podcast the second time.
Yeah.
I think half of the people who listen heard me on church. I got a staggering amount of messages and tweets saying I heard you on Joey's podcast months after I did it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It was crazy. So I think that, as I continue to do it, I mean, That Reporter Kid Speaks numbers, I'm not going to lie, they're nowhere near Creatures of the Net.
Okay.
But that's because I started That Reporter Kid Speaks, I think, a year, maybe 2 years ago at the most.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I see that slowly growing, though, as I put more content out. So, I would say it is a snowball effect, yeah.
Do you ever tell the listeners of the one about the other one so that they can maybe get crossover listeners?
I do, and
cool.
The way I'm trying to build on that is because obviously the people who listen to the Kiss show are huge music fans or just casual music fans. So I'm starting to do now more music-themed content on That Reporter Kid. So on Creatures of the Net, I'll do Kiss album discussions. So now on That Reporter Kid Speaks, I'm starting to do album discussions about the Beatles, about the Who, to have some little bit of crossover. And I actually recorded a Beatles one last night, and I think it's going to go pretty well.
Cool. Yeah, actually, I saw the last couple were like that, weren't they? And
yeah,
you throw in Eminem in there too.
Yeah, and that's what I want to do. Like, I want to have it so it's not just me sitting there playing Kiss, 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 a little bit of Zeppelin, and that's it. I want to play, like, a ton of different music that I enjoy. Because a lot of people that I have on Facebook and stuff will see me posting some rap music and be like, did you get hacked?
Yeah, no kidding, right? I try to hit something Nelson likes. I try to hit something I like. And it's all hip-hop, he says.
Are you into rock more, Nelson?
I am. I listen to everything as well, but I would only buy rock CDs.
Okay.
Or nowadays I'd only download rock music. But I listen to everything when it's on.
That's good.
Yeah.
See, Nelson aspired to manage bands coming out of school.
Yeah, I used to manage a band for quite a few years that never really made it. And then my brother sang opera for a while. Made it on a TV show, so that was kind of cool because we got a ton of media coverage. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, CBC was at his like CD release party and stuff like that. So we had a pretty sweet run. He was like a celebrity in Hamilton. He used to get followed around by old ladies at Fortito's and stuff. That's pretty wild.
The grocery.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, it's awesome to connect with you guys and just on the premise that everybody listens to the same gospel. It's so hilarious, right?
Even though some of it to me isn't gospel. I listened to Ari Shaffir on Joe Rogan today, and they talked about shitting blood for 20 minutes. I was like, when is this going to stop? I won't skip it. I just want to see how long this is going to go.
Yeah.
And speaking of music, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
This is how weird Canadians are. I went to a Black Sabbath concert, as you guys probably know, recently.
Right. Yeah.
And when I was going to find confetti, here's Canada for you folks, I found a hockey puck in the stands. I found a hockey puck at a Black Sabbath concert.
Are you mostly into rock as well?
I'm mostly into, I wouldn't say mostly, I mean, I can go from listening to Linda Ronstadt to Sepultura heavy metal to Iron Maiden, like just anything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What I always say is, if it sounds good, I'll listen to it. I'm not ashamed to say that I enjoy some Britney Spears song while I'm at a Black Sabbath concert. It doesn't matter.
Live.
Yeah.
I did. You saw Britney live?
I saw Britney live.
Was she good?
The whole time.
Of course.
The production's good, but it's one thing when you're singing perfectly pitched, and then when music stops and you're trying to have a conversation, like speak, you can't get the words out. You know that she wasn't singing just now,
That's hilarious.
I was going to say, sorry, I want to just jump back to the podcast. I don't think any of this would be possible as far as the ideas and the startup are concerned if I didn't get into the Rogan, Death Squad, and all the rest. So, I mean, you have a bad day, you turn it on, and you laugh your ass off.
Yeah,
Joey Diaz always gets me going. Uncle Joey, like I've even sent Cassius this ringtone of Joey's.
Oh my god, I played it for my sister. She goes, I find that offensive. I was like, how is it offensive? He's not talking about you. He's talking about just whatever. He's Joey Diaz. He's crazy.
Does Freddie have one again? What's good?
They're doing we are doing a comeback show on 420. I won't be partaking in that, by the way, but I'll be on the show. So yeah, it'll be What's Good will be back.
Oh, sweet. Nice. And you're doing it with Freddie?
Yeah, he just tweeted me, hell yeah, we're coming back and you'll be a part of it. So that made me really happy.
I wanted to ask you to help us with this, but I am like driven to get, I don't care if he needs a pardon, but I want to bring him up to Canada and get him on a tour up here.
Imagine.
I mean, he's crushing everywhere and he needs to be here.
He needs a pardon. I would love to meet Joey. I just wonder how it would go. And I mean, I need other Canadians to discover him,
Absolutely.
What did he do to need a pardon?
His felonies, man.
What is he alleged
Well,
to?
that's another podcast. Uncle Joe.
Kidnapping, drug use,
Okay.
and much more.
The reason I love him so much is because when I was in high school, I had a lot of friends with the same background, the same family dynamic, the same craziness, and it just made me laugh all the time, right?
Yeah.
And, which is why I think all this is so good for you, is that when I was in high school, I didn't remember a lesson plan. I don't remember tests. I don't remember
either.
studying nothing, right? But what I do remember is all the laughs and, the games and the good times. So Joey, he brings it full circle for me. I had a lot of buddies like that, for sure.
The podcast is amazing for somebody growing up because he gives such good advice because he doesn't act holier than thou. He admits how many terrible mistakes he's made along the way. And I think listening to him and Lee has prepared me for some things I never even thought of. Especially hearing him, talk about how, using drugs as a young kid affected him.
Right.
That, had an effect on me. And he said, last time I was on a show, he said, I don't want you getting high at all. Right. You know what I mean? Because, it's just, he knows how that goes. And I've thought about that before when I've been offered things, what he said, because he's right,
Yeah, you don't have to make the same mistakes, right? You can learn from his advice without having to make the mistakes first.
I'm not going to say I'm a saint, but I'm just saying,
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get to it, because I recruited you for a reason.
Okay.
Nelson tries to tell me there was no great rock in the era of the 80s, and I want you to back me on this, please. Oh, God! Did I pick the wrong guy?
You picked the right guy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, here. You know what? I got to give a little... I can give you a physical example.
All right, sweet.
You're done, Nelson. We got Exhibit A right here. It's
Let's
over.
go.
I hope it's not Motley Crue.
Oh, no. I have an album of theirs, but I'm not quite a fan. Let's see what I've got here. So I think Exhibit A would have to be... Where is it? Here we go. And I know you guys would expect this of me.
Oh,
it just froze. Who is that? Is that Kiss?
Lick It Up. Did it? Are you back? Kiss, Lick It Up.
Thank you.
Were you pissed off when they took the makeup off?
I wasn't alive.
Yes,
that's right. So you would have seen them first without makeup then, right?
Oh, yeah. I saw Gene Simmons without makeup before I even, saw him as a scary demon.
Okay.
Exhibit
B. Michael Jackson used to be black, right?
I do, yes.
Isn't it amazing how many people don't know?
Yeah.
How many folks? Yeah, that's hilarious.
That is pretty crazy. Okay, here, I got Exhibit B.
Thank you. And these are, folks, everyone listening, this is all vinyl, by the way.
Iron Maiden, Power Slave.
Thank you.
Okay, so these are all bands that I listed as not being a fan of.
Why?
So far.
I don't get.
Kiss, I'm a fan of. I saw them live, actually.
Keep them coming.
They're good.
Let's go.
They're awesome live.
Deep Purple, Perfect Stranger.
Nice! Deep Purple. Good for you.
In 1984.
We got 10 years to kill you with.
Yeah. Let's not
I did
forget.
it today. I thought that Guns N' Roses' first album came out in 91.
Oh.
So I was driving the other day and doing research at the same time. And I saw that it was 85, their first album. So I'll give you that.
You should give us that. This, Scorpions Worldwide Live. Rock Me Like a Hurricane.
That's a good
I got more. I actually, let's see, I think I got 3 more in the bunch.
Is this your stuff that you discovered or from your parents?
My uncle gave me the starting ground of my collection, but I'd known most of the music before.
That's awesome.
Let me see.
They're listening to Bieber, as you know.
Yeah, that's blasphemy. I would never do that.
That's another topic.
Okay. Let's see. Let me just make sure this is 80s. 1980, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell.
Oh, Black Sabbath is a classic.
First album with Ronnie James.
I can't argue with that.
He's getting deep in here.
I'm getting deep. I got another one, and this one will...
The reason I said that comment was because of bands like Poison.
Oh, yeah, that was trash. The hair metal.
So that's my point. 80s You have to admit that in the 80s there was too much hair metal going on.
There was way too much. I mean, yeah, and everybody had their little ballads.
You
And
should have said that on the podcast, buddy.
Fine.
Don't call it all-encompassing.
I was
The last
jaded
one.
by the hair metal.
No kidding, this guy.
The last one for me would have to be the definitive rock album of the 80s, Blizzard of Oz, Ozzy Osbourne.
Thank you. Nice.
Yes.
I think we've got about 6 examples here, so
I think, yeah, just
I think we're good.
All right. There was good music going on in that.
you can
decade.
throw Nelson underneath the
I'm just traumatized by the hair metal. The hair metal and the tights, man. Like they were all wearing tights. I didn't understand it.
It wasn't too good. Like I was watching the Metal Evolution documentary, and I was like, these guys are really taken seriously. I mean, they're okay, but most of the stuff is trash, quite honestly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what do you think about that? Because, I mean, he's maybe not that much old, obviously not much older than you, but, like, he's just going ballistic now. Like, it's just a joke for us. We can't even cover it anymore, frankly.
No, I can't.
Can I say one sentence about it?
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be much worse.
Well, that's the funny
worse.
thing, right? We can't even relate to that much success at that age.
That's what it always comes down to. But why should that be an excuse?
It's not an excuse.
It's not.
He shouldn't be an idiot, but we would probably be worse. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, I'd be worse. Like, I wouldn't want to be a role model for kids if I had that much money. I would be just drunk, walking around, just get out of my face. I would be out of control.
Yeah, you can't see.
That
No one's gonna say
Raptor,
no.
that Raptor, did you hear about that? Jonas Valanciunas, or whatever how you pronounce it? He got a
for
DUI.
drunk driving, yeah.
Yeah, the Toronto Raptor just got busted for driving under the influence too. And you should hear like the way the sports radio stations are talking about it, like it's a catastrophe. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I have 3 kids. That's a call I never want to get from my kids. What was he doing? Blah blah blah. Like he made a mistake. Like
Right.
he's
Yeah,
human.
you made a mistake. I'm sure most people have driven back from New Year's Eve after having a couple cocktails. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's right, but
Right,
everybody
exactly.
makes mistakes.
But it happens all the time.
but it happens more than these guys are acting like it is. Like.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. What's this you have for us? Nelson's gonna,
Oh, I gotta play a
Nelson's
game.
gonna screw us over now. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
We're gonna play a game. Are you a Drake fan?
Drake?
Yeah.
He's all right. Yeah, he's good.
Okay. So we got a.
Nelson hates Drake.
I can't stand it.
He's dating his woman. That's why.
Who, Rihanna?
Yeah, he can't stand that Drake's hands are all over Rihanna. And
Neither can I, trust me.
Neil just throws me under the bus. That's what he's here for. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is a buddy of mine said this to me, and I thought this is perfect to play with Cassius. So
Okay.
I'm going to read a statement, and the question is it a Drake lyric or a teenage girl tweet?
Okay.
Okay? So Drake lyric or teenage girl tweet?
I'll be good
You're
at
going
this.
to play it too, because... Okay, so let's start here. I hate that you don't think I belong to you.
That's Drake.
Drake.
that's a teenage girl.
Oh, no, it's Drake.
Oh shit.
It sounds like a teenage
I know
girl.
a lot of his music.
What's that?
I know a lot of his music because my dad's actually a huge fan and plays it in the car, but we'll see.
You're going to know this
Okay.
then. So that's the song for this thing. Okay, next one. I don't want to feel the need to wear disguises around.
That's a girl.
What's your guess here?
Just
Noah?
play it with Cassie.
No, what's your guess?
I can't stand being so wrong on these.
That's definitely a girl.
It's a girl. It's a girl.
Drake.
No.
And say what's real.
Okay.
Okay, I've never heard that one, luckily.
Whoever said love doesn't complete you is wrong. Okay, I'll start again because my reading was so horrible there. Whoever said love doesn't complete you is wrong. There is a sense of hollow if you've loved and lost.
That's a teenage girl.
It is a dark teenage girl. But
Yeah, seriously.
I'm like, how can Drake put that in a song?
I know, right?
Yeah.
You promised me you would never change.
I know that's Drake.
It's Drake.
You promised me you would never change.
The Resistance is the song.
Oh, man.
That's a good track, guys. Come on.
Neil's laughing because he knows that that's
I
like
like all
Teenage
Drake's
Girl.
music.
Yeah.
Drake's good. I like Drake.
He's my boy.
You know the funny thing is the one song I like of him, he doesn't even sound like he's Drake singing it.
Which one?
Oh, I don't like the singing. I don't like his new album very much, but I like his last two are really good.
The nasal voice, I can't do it.
Just honk them.
I'm only fragile with you. You know how to break me down.
That's a teenage girl.
That's Teenage Girl. Neil said Jersey. I'm going to finish with one more.
Okay.
It was like the most... It even said it's like the most emo tweet from a girl. Oh, I just gave it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay, this last one. I can't stop missing you. No, 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 no.
That's a
No, 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 no. So much enthusiasm in the lyrics.
Drake is missing.
That's Drake.
Yeah.
What song?
Missing you.
Oh, okay, I think I've heard that one.
Yeah.
I've heard Miss Me by Drake.
Right.
Oh, maybe it's Miss Me. They maybe did that.
Come on, you gotta come with a strong one here. Make us laugh.
Finish with the strong one?
Yeah, come on. Give us a strong one.
Well, they're getting all emotional now. Well, actually, this one's funny.
Even better.
I'm gonna
Okay,
go
how about
cry
this
after
one?
this.
I forgot about you last night. What's that?
I said I'm gonna go cry about after this. This is crazy.
I forgot about you last night for the first time in a long time.
Teenage girl.
That's Drake.
What?
Message from You, it's called.
I've never heard any of those ones. Oh.
Okay.
It's so sad that how many of these we don't even know.
Yeah, see? How many of them sound like it would be a teenage girl? That's the sad part.
All of them.
Okay, this one's... I'll finish with this one.
Okay.
It's going to be pretty obvious. I want my eyelashes to be as black as my soul and as long as the list of people I hate.
Obviously Drake. No. Teenage girl.
A
Although he
miserable
does have some,
teenage girl.
although his eyelashes are on point, I'll give him that. But it is the
The
girl.
Twitter handles of these girls that are
I know, right?
sending these out.
Just say, I hope you're okay. Just like send a little
Yeah,
message.
I know. You know what's funny? They actually gave the Twitter handle on these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Give him
so
some
you
credit.
can see who it is.
That's funny.
So we're going to start tweeting these girls.
Yeah. So you're like, yo, you just got a shout out on the podcast. Get some help.